This little ghost went to market.
This little ghost stayed home. This little ghost ate
Ghost beef, yum.
This little ghost had none. Little Miss Spider sat on a glider, eating her flies for the day, when along came Miss Muffet and sat on a tuffet and frightened Miss Spider away. Woo!
There once was a witch of Willoughby Wood, and a weird wild witch was she. With hair that was curled and hands that were gnarled and a kickety-rickety knee. She could jump, they say, to the moon and back, but this I never did see.
This I never did see.
A six-handed monster from Gleating joined some boys who were out trick-or-treating. But when he reached for the candies with all of his handies,
everyone shouted,
"That's cheating!" Old Witch Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow?
With poison seeds and wicked weeds and skeletons all in a row.
Oh, you put your right bone in, and you put your right bone out. Then you give your right bone a shake, 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 and wiggle it about. A goblin lives in our house, in our house, in our house. A goblin lives in our house all the year round. He bumps, and he jumps, and he thumps, and he stomps, he knocks, and he rocks, and he rattles all the locks. A goblin lives in our house, in our house, in our house. A goblin lives in our house all the year round.
in a dark, dark wood, there was a dark, dark house. And in that dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. And in that dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark cupboard. And in that dark, dark cupboard, there was a dark, dark shelf. And in that dark, dark shelf, there was a dark, dark box. And in that dark, dark box, there was a ghost.
Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones and the rest all gone. Ooh, wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on? Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones and the rest all gone. Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones and the rest all gone. Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on?
Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a witch and couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. So now, Peter, pumpkin eater's having a party. It's going to be a fancy masquerade.
Come as a clown or come as a cat.
Oh, wear a mustache and a big black hat.
The witch is serving sauerkraut lemonade.
Blech.
Homemade.
Oh, Peter, pumpkin eater's having a party. Then there'll be a boomity-boom parade.
Boomity-boom.
The witch will cackle a marching song. The ghosts will boo as they glide along. Boo, 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 boo. You're all invited if you're not afraid.
Who's afraid?
So come to Peter, pumpkin eater's party.
Halloween party.
Followed by awful refreshments. Perfectly awful refreshments.
And a parade.
Do you like scary stories? I've got a scary story for you. Well, it's a teeny tiny bit scary. upon a time, there was a teeny tiny woman who lived in a teeny tiny house in a teeny tiny village. Now one day, this teeny tiny woman put on her teeny tiny bonnet and went out to take a teeny tiny walk. She had gone a teeny tiny way when she came to a teeny tiny forest. There she saw a teeny tiny bone. "This will make a teeny tiny soup for my teeny tiny supper," said the teeny tiny woman to her teeny tiny self. So she picked up the teeny tiny bone and took it home to her teeny tiny house. Then she put the teeny tiny bone in her teeny tiny cupboard and went up to her teeny tiny bed. Now when this teeny tiny woman had been asleep a teeny tiny time, she was awakened by a teeny tiny voice from her teeny tiny cupboard, which said,
"Give me my bone."
The teeny tiny woman was a teeny tiny bit frightened, so she hid her teeny tiny head under the teeny tiny covers and went to sleep again. When she had been asleep a teeny tiny time, the teeny tiny voice cried out from the cupboard a teeny tiny bit louder,
"Give me my bone."
This made the teeny tiny woman a teeny tiny bit more frightened, so she hid her teeny tiny head a teeny tiny bit farther under the teeny tiny covers. Now when the teeny tiny woman had been asleep a teeny tiny time longer, the teeny tiny voice from the teeny tiny cupboard said again a teeny tiny bit louder,
"Give me my bone."
This made the teeny tiny woman a teeny tiny bit more frightened, but she put her teeny tiny head out from under the covers and said in her loudest teeny tiny voice,